Welcome to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9. My name is Todd. My co-host is Brian. We are broadcasting live from a beautiful location atop the press box, a little bit of a soggy location down on the sidelines, but a field that is actually drained pretty well and looks good for what is going to be senior night. A big moment here for a collection of senior football players at St. Joseph Academy that are going to be playing what is technically their second to last game on this field, but it'll still have all the emotions of a senior night. The Flashes are going to be taking on West Oaks Academy. They've traveled here all the way from Orlando, Florida. They are 3-4 on the year, but interestingly enough, 3-0 at home and 0-4 at the road. The Flashes will hope to continue that trend for them. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, and kickoff is coming in a little less than 5 minutes. The captains are at midfield right now. Hopefully the Flashes will win the toss and get to choose what they like for the game, and we'll bring that kickoff to you in just a few minutes. We'll be back. All right, for those of you enjoying the live stream, the teams are getting ready to take the field. We're going to be connecting to our radio crew in just a few minutes here. I think we're about a minute 32 away from kickoff. Flashes are getting ready to come through the screen down there. That's always a fun moment. Brian, I always enjoyed that welcome onto the field, but I always wanted to investigate the science of how much adrenaline and energy you actually lose and if that has a negative effect later. I don't know if anybody's done any research on that. We're only talking to our digital audience right now. We're not live on the radio yet, so it's just you awesome listeners who are picking up on this. But do you have a thought? Do you worry that you're getting rid of all that good adrenaline too soon?
I think that'd be a good science project for some of your senior football players.
There you go.
But no, I don't. I mean, just knowing athletics, there is an adrenaline rush in the beginning, and sometimes that adrenaline rush in the beginning can be too much. That's sometimes where balls get dropped or passes are overthrown or offsides penalties are incurred. And so you want to get to a place where you're level, where the adrenaline is flowing, but it's managed instead of over the top.
Well, the adrenaline is flowing tonight here at Versailles Field. The fireworks are going off above the softball field. There's some great music playing over the PA system, and both teams have taken the field ready to start this football game. West Oaks Academy, who has traveled all the way from the Orlando area to take on St. Joseph Academy, another battle for the right to call themselves the Academy. And people are ready to go. It's an emotional night for our Flashes. All the seniors are celebrating senior night, the cheerleaders as well as the football players. We've got a middle school night tonight, so we've got a lot of extra kids who are here on campus. Great atmosphere, great environment. I'm fired up and ready. My name is Todd. My co-host is Brian. The Flashes are going to kick this ball off to start, and we're flying a little bit blind tonight with the other team. I was actually down in the end zone for all of the senior night activities, so I wasn't even able to scout warm-ups and get a real good sense of what we're in for. But I know we're facing a 3-4 team in West Oaks Academy. They're kind of a tired, almost like Florida State, maybe a Boston College, gold pants, white jerseys. Some of them are wearing gold helmets, and some are wearing black helmets. We'll see how that goes, if there's any sort of theme once I see them all out on the field. The Flashes are in their all-black uniforms tonight, and they're actually wearing helmet stickers for the first time, or at least the first time that I've seen, unless that was in play last week when they took on and defeated Duval Charter, a game that we weren't able to broadcast live for you. But, Brian, I know you got a chance to go out there and enjoyed seeing the boys play so well.
It was a terrific game. More details to come in the opening minutes, but a 48-0 win for the Flashes. West Oaks also coming off a big win, 60-0 last week for them.
Adrian Hemelt with a pooch kick down to the 30. It's muffed, but fallen on by the returner. It looks like Mikhail Reed is the one who came up with it. And West Oaks Academy is going to start this ball game, their first drive of the night, right around their own 30-yard line. We'll get an official spot in a moment. Actually, they're going to put it up to the 31. And that's where the Flame, I guess kind of like the hockey team, the Calgary Flames, but singular, not plural or possessive, just the Flame. So we'll see. There's a couple of music references there that we'll get to as the night goes on. But for right now, the Flame are going to start on the left hash at their own 31-yard line.
So it's a singular flame, not a plural flame.
That's what I read. So here we go. We got a shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers, and it looks like a conversation between one of the athletes and the official on the first play of the game. An equipment issue is sending one of the wide receivers off the field. Tavares Pitts is jogging to the sidelines. I'm not sure if they're going to let him correct the issue and then, nope, they're actually sending a replacement player out on the field, a substitute. I see Kamari Hickson is now headed out there. Looks like number 1, Daniel Miller, is lined up in the backfield. He's got a running back next to him. Man in motion. That's Marquise Cohen. Takes the snap. It's high. He hands it off to Marquise Cohen. Cohen goes around the right side, and he is going to be taken down. It was Dominic Sanguine who was at quarterback, number 11, not number 1. The first play, though, was a handoff, and they pick up about 4 on the play.
Nice tackle by Ricky Fernandez. I'll tell you what, Ricky has, for a newer football player, he's been really a downhill player playing that strong safety spot and has really been impressive on the edge in particular.
He has, and he's a guy that's, I'll be honest with you, he surprised me right in the beginning of the year with some impact plays. But it wasn't just a one-off. He's continued to make plays throughout the year.
I think he's our 4th leading tackler on the season. He's really having a nice season and such a soft-spoken young man, not the kind of guy that you'd be expecting to out there and bring it week after week on the football field.
Dominic brings his team to the line. He's a 5'11 freshman. He's got 3 wide receivers, a running back and an H-back, a man in motion. It's a high snap. He's going to hand this one off to Cohen again, who's going to be brought down after a decent gain. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
And they had 2 guys throwing the ball in warm-ups, trying to see who that tackle was. I see a
Number
2.
2, Marcus Cohen, tackled by number 24, I believe, for the Flashes.
I think it was Max Grimes.
It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Either Grimes. You know I like to give Glisson credit for a tackle, and that's actually the in-stadium
I believe
PA
that tackle
announcer
was Max Grimes.
Max
who just corrected it to Max Grimes from Glisson.
Max has filled in one of those inside linebacker spots with Brody Ely. Max is a guy that's worn a lot of numbers and played all over the field on both sides of the ball.
All right, 3rd down and short here. The Flame look to get their first down of the evening. They bring a man in motion. High snap. We'll keep an eye on that. They run the stretch play out to the left, and they've got some room. They've got a man in the open field. That's Tavares Pitts. He is not going to be caught. The man taken off the field on the very first play of the game for an equipment issue on 3rd down and short takes the sweep, and he'll go 61 yards for a touchdown.
We had some over pursuit in the back end of the defense. The safety pursued too far to the sideline. Nice cutback by Pitts. And Todd, you made note of it. I think on all 3 of those snaps, there were high snaps. It'll be interesting to see if that's a trend. The Flame sideline looks awfully thin. They listed a roster of about 35 guys, but there are certainly not anywhere close to 35 dressed. I would say it's probably around 20 max.
Yeah, I mean, I see 8 guys on the sideline. One of them is in his jersey, but street clothes. They're going to go for – yeah, we got flags all over the field. So they went for 2. The throw was incomplete. There is a holding call, though, that is going to go against the Flame. That'll be declined by the Flashes, and the score will remain 6-0 for right now. 9:54 to play, and the Flashes will get a chance to go on offense.
We haven't seen a decline call, but you're right. There's no reason why you wouldn't decline that penalty because the result of the play was an incomplete pass.
Unless maybe you were the Miami Hurricanes, and then who knows what you're going to do.
The penalty is declined. Ouch.
I went to sleep. I went to sleep. I didn't stay up for the game. I woke up to about 15 text messages from friends saying, "Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it?" And once I did, I was at a loss. I still don't understand what even the thought process was behind a run play on 3rd and 10 with 33 seconds to go.
I don't understand what the thought process is in watching a Miami Hurricanes game and believing that they're going to amount to something. There have been too many seasons of big hype and big promises. Sorry to all the Hurricane fans out there.
Yeah, I got unnecessary shade from both of us. I'm not sure. I'm still in shock, and we haven't had a chance to be on the air or even talk. You know, last week we weren't able to broadcast the game. There were some logistical and technical challenges at the stadium where we were going to be playing, so we didn't end up getting a chance to do a broadcast. Brian and I both have some fairly busy jobs, so we haven't really spoken since the last time we stood in one of these booths and broadcasted a game. As a matter of fact, that might have been when we were down at Melbourne Central Catholic, the last time we got a chance to talk. So lots to catch up on. Hopefully, though, we'll be too busy calling out Flashes touchdowns tonight to actually get to any of those other things. But right now, the Flashes are ready to go with their kickoff return team. A lot of conversation happening here as we get ready. I didn't note, and you know I always check, I did not note a kicker on the roster, which usually means a big offensive lineman is going to go out and kick. And that's what I see. James Wilkie, who is a 5'8", 215-pound offensive guard, he just took one step and punted one to the 30. Brody Ely is going to return it about 12 yards. They'll spot the ball out at the 34-yard line. That was an interesting kick. I kind of liked it.
It was hilarious. You said one step. I might give him 2, but nothing like a normal. You never know what you're going to get when an offensive lineman is your kicker. I remember the day where it was the best athlete on the field, but you're right. We've seen it a few times where the offensive lineman comes out there and just gives it everything he can.
Well, it was a good kick. All right, here is the handoff. It is Brody Ely on the first play. He slips down. This is a wet field. It drained pretty well in the midday. But there's just been a lot of rain in the St. Augustine area over the course of this week, and just huge downpours, especially the last 2 days. Got a little more rain this morning, but it wasn't terrible. But this field was pretty wet today.
Yeah, I think we're really going to see the effects of that in the game tonight. On the opening kickoff, it looked like the returner slipped as the ball dropped in front of him and he fell in it.
2nd and 5. Ott with a quick throw to the outside. That is going to be caught. Ray Evans makes the catch. He'll get out to midfield and then is dragged down by the back of his jersey right at the 50-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and a long 3. 8:57 to play in the first quarter. West Oaks Academy is up 6-0 over St. Joseph Academy. And the Flashes have their first 3rd down. It was a 3rd down play on which the Flames, I almost said the Flash, on which the Flames had their big 61-yard touchdown. Empty backfield here.
Is that Jack Fox?
And it looks like Jack Fox is the man at quarterback. He fakes the throw, takes it straight up the middle. A phenomenal burst. He'll not only get into Flame territory, but he's all the way down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 15 on 3rd and short. What a creative play.
Yeah, great play call. Those who know the Flashes know that when Jack Fox is back there, it's usually going to be a run. Oftentimes he goes over under center. Jack Fox actually threw a pass last week, got a 2-yard extra point conversion. Might have been his first pass of the year for a guy who started last year as the starting quarterback.
And also caught his first touchdown pass of the year last week on a throw from offensive lineman Caden Wensloff. I need to hear more about that. Cody Ott on the quarterback keeper, a little play fake, and he goes straight up the middle for a gain of 8.
And I'm going to assume that was by design as opposed to a broken play. But I will say that's an encouraging sign. We've talked a lot about Cody Ott's back injuries over the last 4 or 5 weeks. He's been progressing from about 40% to 80%. He told me this morning that he's 95%. Last week we saw him for the first time run the ball in about 3 weeks, and that's definitely a part of the arsenal that he brings to the field.
He is not the quarterback at the moment. A double reverse here gets to Jeremiah Kess. Kess is going to pick up the first down. He'll be ridden out of bounds at the 20-yard line. There is a pink towel out on the field. That is not actually a flag, but I was concerned initially. Little double reverse. Jack Fox came back in at quarterback. Cody was actually out in the slot, and they ran a little double reverse there from Ely to Kess. But now that is a flag. That is not just – all right, so you know what? I kind of like it, though. It is the month of October, and one of the flags out on the field is, in fact, pink, but it looks like it is a penalty, and it may be going against the Flashes because they've backed all the way up to the 35, if not the 40-yard line.
Typically a hold or a block in the back. The good news for the Flashes is that it was quite a bit downfield. So the bad news is we'd actually gotten the first down when the flag was thrown. But the good news is that it's still going to be second and less than 10, second and it looks like about 7. So we lost about 5 yards on the penalty.
7:11 to play in the first quarter. The Flashes moving the ball fairly well, but they're going the wrong way after that play. 2nd and 7, high snap, handoff goes to Ely. Ely does a nice job navigating the hole. He'll get down to the 25-yard line. It'll be really close to the markers. The near side official is pointing, and now the far side official goes ahead and waves the sticks forward. First down, Flashes.
And you know, the Flashes have been a run-dominant team all season. Against a team with less than 20 players, I really like the approach of pounding the football, running between the tackles. I like the idea of maybe playing with a little bit of tempo, but you know this is a team, not really any heat or humidity issues, but just because of the minutes they're going to log on both sides of the ball that you can wear down over the course of a game.
And I'm not sure that this isn't a humid night, though. We dealt with odd weather today. It went from, this is an odd formation, 3 wide receivers all stacked up on the right, but it's a distractor. They run Ely straight up the middle. A nice gain. The quarterback with a nice little fist pump after that handoff as Ely goes straight up the middle for a gain of 9.
Yeah, beautiful job, and it's eye candy when you see the stacked trips on the right side, because what I'm thinking is, okay, they're probably gonna run a little screen over there to the back of the 3 receivers and have the front 2 as blockers. And the defense is thinking that too. You run it up the middle. I love the idea of running when they think you're going to pass and passing when they think you're going to run.
Speaking of eye candy, I just received a text message from my beautiful bride who is in northern Michigan right now, and she is curling. She is out on the ice with a broom, and they are actually curling right now. That is a phenomenal distraction. Oh, and apparently there were some distractions down on the field. A bad snap. Cody Ott dives on it, and that is going to be a loss. It was going to be second down and about a foot, and now it's going to be third down and close to 8.
And it's a shame because I think we were going to take a shot at the end zone there. We were in a formation where we had some extra protection in. Our most dynamic receiver, Mr. Kess, was heading out to the right corner of the end zone. Didn't have a lot of other guys in patterns, but the combination of Ott to Kess has really been pretty deadly for us over the course of the year. I believe Kess is over 400 yards now in receiving, having quite a season as a junior.
Third and long. Ott looks right, steps up in the pocket. He's in trouble. He's going to try to spin away from the initial pressure. He'll pick up a couple on the play. He'll get down to the 20-yard line. It's going to be fourth down and nearly 5 yards. This is right on the edge of Adrian Hemeld's field goal range, and actually he is being trotted out onto the field, or he is trotting out onto the field. And with 4:35 to play in the first quarter, they are going to attempt the field goal. The way they're set up right now, it'll be a 37-yard attempt. Nearly 38 yards. His long on the year is 30. High snap, good hold. Here's the kick. It is low. It is end over end, and it is no good.
Interesting play. Literally zero rush from the defense. They made no attempt not only to block the kick. It was almost like they were. Are you serious? You're going to kick a field goal? They were, but they weren't even necessarily looking for a fake. They literally did nothing. Unfortunately, the kick wasn't close. On that third down play, I think Cody was looking to the end zone to Kess again. I think Wisely didn't have it. Early in the season, he was throwing some 50-50 balls, and in some cases the receivers were making plays. In some cases we lost the ball to turnovers. And one of the things that Cody has told me within the last couple weeks is that now that he's feeling better, he's going to be more likely just to tuck it and run rather than throw a dangerous pass.
So the Flashes, who have talked a little bit, Coach Cash has mentioned he wants to focus on getting points when they're in the red zone. They were literally on the edge of the red zone there, sitting just outside the 20-yard line. Ultimately went for the field goal. They don't get it, but obviously it's a decent field position dynamic as you give the ball over.
Probably a good idea to get some food in you.
I don't know. I might have considered going for it, and he probably considered going for it. But ultimately, when coaches make a decision, if it works out, they're brilliant, and that's exactly what you needed to do. And when it doesn't, we ask questions.
Adrian Hemelt, going into this game, was 1 for 4 on field goals. He's been very reliable on extra points. His longest kick of the year was 30. So I would tend to agree with you. I think 4th and 5 is a very makeable first down. I think the offense was winning the line of scrimmage against their defense. We were effective running the ball especially. But like you said, it works great when you when it works.
A rolling snap is going to be picked up in the backfield. They're going to get him for a loss there. The Flash's defense was ready to go. That was number 2, Marquise Cohen, who jumped on the football. It never even made it back to Dominic, the quarterback.
I think we had Puntillo there, who was the first man on the to get the tackle, and then I think Larry Centers was the second one there, teaming up for a loss of 2.
Tavares Pitts was the most dynamic athlete on the field in that first drive, but it was Marquise Cohen who was the most oft-targeted. You've got 4 wide receivers, 3 split out wide to the right, 1 to the left. 2 deep safeties for the Flashes. It's second down and 12. 3:28 to play in the first quarter. High snap goes up and over Dominic's head. The ball is in the end zone. That should be a safety. The Flashes right now are talking as if they've got the football. The referee's hands go up in the air. Touchdown, St. Joe.
And you know, we mentioned, Todd, in the last drive that they had all 3 snaps were high, and here we go again. That's we saw it happen a few years ago where it got in the center's head, and we don't know if it's a backup center or not. And once it gets into your head, and especially with a big play like that, it's hard to get out of your head.
Brody Ely is the man who falls on top of it. Absolutely fantastic moment there for the Flashes. They are in the end zone for the score on the fumble recovery. And now they're going to line up for the extra point. Adrian Hemelt giving it another go. Now we're engaged in a little discussion. It looks like we've got a timeout on the field for West Oaks Academy. We'll take the first timeout of the night up here in the booth. We're tied 6-6. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9. Heard a little discussion there in the break that West Oaks Academy might be arguing possession on that score. No changes happening, though, but I understand that was part of the discussion down on the field. But the Flashes are going to line up for the extra point here. The ball is going to head from the 3 back to the 10. Quarterback is the holder. Adrian Hemelt, number 19, is the kicker. 3:16 to play in the first quarter. We're all tied up at 6, pending this point after attempt. High snap, good hold, great kick, and that one is up and through. You know, that kick on the field goal, and he's got it. That was a beauty. The Flashes now lead 7-6.
As you mentioned, high snap, great job by Cody to bring it down and not disrupt the rhythm. Kickers are peculiar fellas. You throw off that rhythm by a half a step, and that can throw the entire kickoff. But thumbs up to Hemelt to keep his focus even with the high snap. And I think they've developed some chemistry between holder and kicker over the course of the season.
Speaking of kickers, I just wanted to throw this out there. I had a conversation with an old friend yesterday who noted that Cairo Santos, who is a graduate of St. Joseph Academy, holds the record in college football for the most consecutive made field goals in a single season without a miss. With 21 kicks in 2012 for Tulane. And doing just a little bit of quick research with my fantasy football team, Cairo is yet to miss a field goal this year, still playing for the Chicago Bears in his 4th year with the Bears, and still doing a great job. The Bears offense isn't giving him a ton of opportunities, but he is making the most of them when they do come. Big fan of Cairo Santos, graduated back in 2008 from the academy, was actually our commencement speaker a couple of years ago. Have really enjoyed hanging out with him. We've played golf a couple of times. He's a great guy, loves the academy, really appreciates the time here. And you were around him while he was here as his teacher.
I was one of his football coaches, actually.
There you go.
The day. Adrian Hemelt's doing his best Cairo Santos imitation. He's now 9 of 10 in extra points for over the course of the year. And the best thing for the Chicago Bears offense would be for me to choose a defense that is facing them, as I did last week with the Washington Redskins, who scored
Commanders,
who scored, I think, -4 points. Looks like we might have a delay call.
We do. Ely busts up the middle. Cohen now gets the ball and kicks it around the right side. He gets a block. He is going to be taken down after a gain of 9. That play was odd. It was disrupted immediately by Ely's pressure, and somehow the ball got out, and then there was nobody around the outside.
And I think the refs must not have seen the play clock go down to 0. That was Ricky Fernandez again, who may have saved a touchdown by catching the edge there.
He certainly saved a first down. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. I formation here, under center. Here's the snap. Cohen is going to drive. He's going to get driven back. Looks like that was Grimes who's going to bring him down for a loss. It'll be 3rd down and 3, maybe 4.
Grimes and Puntillo were a tag team on that. Max Grimes had 6 tackles last week, had really his best game of his career as a Flash.
Very nice.
Impressive to see these younger guys growing up as the season goes on.
3rd and a long 3. They'll hand it again to Cohen. Cohen forces his way off right guard. He's got the first down, but he kind of steps back. He might have given a yard back, but the spot goes beyond the sticks, and that'll be a first down for the Flame.
Hard to say who made the tackle. It looked like Larry Centers was in there. It might have been Jack Fox. And I think Puntillo might have been a part of that as well.
A lot of conversations down on the field and in the stands. Everybody's having a good time so far this evening, except for Mr. Cohen on this play. The Flash's defense sniffs out the run. Great penetration by the defense. A solid loss there of 2 yards for Cohen. Puntillo with the tackle.
Yeah, Puntillo has been active. He's got 4 tackles so far, 2 of them for a loss. Brody Ely made the penetration. One thing that the Flash's defense has done very effectively the last few games is blitz linebackers, and we weren't doing much of that early in the season, but it sure was disruptive when other teams were doing it to us early in the season. It's nice to see that turned towards the opposite team.
The Flashes lead 7-6. There is a minute to play in the first quarter. West Oaks moving from right to left has its 2nd down and 12. A little reverse here, went from being nothing into nearly 11-yard gain. I thought that play was going to be blown up in the backfield, and once he turned the corner,
looks like we got a flag on the play.
He was flying along. There is a flag down.
I think he must have stepped out of bounds, and that flag is probably going to be a 15-yarder. I didn't see any contact between anybody. Somebody must have said something.
15 yards in which direction? The referee is standing flat, so I can't tell. I'm worried, though, that this is going to go against the Flashes. And it is. Personal foul. That'll be 15 yards. So the flag was sitting at the 45-yard line of the Flame, and now it's going to go all the way down to the 40-yard line in Flashes territory.
Calls a personal foul against the Flashes.
Ouch.
It happened after the player had gone out of bounds. Now, from where we are, we didn't even know that the player – we couldn't clearly see that the player had gone out of bounds. There was a whistle right on the spot, but I'm guessing maybe there was some late illegal contact.
3 wide receivers in the formation. Good snap here. Cohen takes it. They're going to try to go around the right side, but Larry Sessions spins them down. That'll be a loss of about 6 yards. Actually, they'll give him forward progress to the 45, so it's a loss of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Larry Sessions makes his presence felt.
Yeah, that was not a tackle. That was a toss around like a rag doll. He just absolutely authoritative threw him down. He didn't even look like he broke a sweat doing it. Didn't go down to himself. He just threw him down and then kept right about his business.
10 seconds to play in the quarter. No hurry to get to the line. I think that'll be the last play of the first quarter. They're still chatting like they don't realize it, but the head referee is walking up because he knows that the quarter's over. The Flashes lead at 7-6. We'll take a quick break and be back on the other side to bring you the second quarter. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9. 12 minutes are up on the clock for the second quarter. The Flashes lead this one 7-6. Right now it is 2nd down and 15 for West Oaks Academy. They'll be moving from left to right on your radio dial. Kind of a Florida State, Boston College-ish look for the Flame. Flashes in all black today. Here's the snap. Quarterback is going to roll to the left. Throws this one on the run. He's got a man wide open. The defensive back fell down. The wide receiver inexplicably ran out of bounds on his own. And that'll be a 1st down for the Flame, but it could have been a lot worse.
It could have. I think it might have been the momentum of the pass because it was a corner route, and that was one of the routes they were warming up with quite a bit. Difficult pass for the quarterback, rolling to his left. I was just mentioned to you in the short break that he looked pretty good throwing the ball, and that was the first pass. I expect we're going to see some more of that.
Shotgun formation here. 2 wide receivers split out wide to the right, 2 to the left. A back on his hip. Man comes in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. He's going to bend his way back, and he is going to be taken down for a loss. Cohen tried to kind of loop his way around the defensive end, but ended up going the wrong way. The Flashes in pursuit bring him down at the 33-yard line. That'll be a big loss. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
That was a great tag team combo by Brody Ely, who was pursuing from behind, and Jack Fox, who was stretching the play out. Jack slowed the runner just enough in trying to get to the edge that Brody was able to corral him from behind. Todd, I think these next 3 plays are going to go far to determining what direction this game goes. I think if the Flashes can get a stop here and get some momentum going into halftime, they can play downhill. But if they give up a touchdown, then they're, of course, going to be playing from behind.
2nd and 17. Here's the snap. Dominic rolls left. Fires this one deep. The defensive back tries to break it up in the air, but it is a touchdown. There was some discussion briefly, but that is going to be a completed pass. A long touchdown to Daniel Miller. That ball hung up in there, up in the air for so long. They both tried to high point the ball, but in the end it lands in the hands of Daniel Miller, and it's a touchdown for the Flame.
Yeah, it was really frustrating to watch because the defensive back was in good position early, and then he turned his hips and faced the ball to make a play on the ball way too early instead of keeping running and getting depth, allowed the defender who was not behind him when the ball was thrown to pass him and to get position where he jumped and thought he'd be able to get a hand on it. He wasn't, and that's a touchdown we shouldn't have given up.
12-7 now in favor of the Flame with 10:19 to play. They're lined up to go for 2, but they're struggling. They don't have all their players out on the field, so a timeout is going to be called. Yep, only 10 guys on the field.
Timeout, West
And
Oaks.
so they'll head to the sidelines and talk it over.
We've seen some disorganization from the Flame. That's potentially gives us hope for some things to go our way down the line. You know, the snaps we've talked about, a couple of timeouts burned early. I think both of them maybe on special teams. They don't have any kind of a kicking game. There's a lot of reasons why the Flashes should be able to do some good things in this game.
Flashes have done a couple of things well so far. A breakdown there leads to a touchdown and now a 12-7 deficit. The 2-point conversion attempt on the first drive was a throw out of the back of the end zone. There was a holding call that was involved. Definitely wasn't an ideal play for the Flame. They'll look to do a little bit better here. The Flashes defense has really played very well minus 2 plays. I mean, they've really looked genuinely good, except for the 2 plays that led to the touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's the difference between good and great. A great defense is good almost all the time, and the 2 plays were big slip-ups.
You know, if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, there was a play late in the Bills game.
West Oaks looks like they got
Josh
both
Allen
two.
threw a bomb. He had Stephon Diggs kind of open, and then Darius Williams closed late. They both high-pointed it.
All the Flashes.
Flashes defense steps up big here. They'll stop him before he can get in.
Great stop. Let's give it up for him.
No point after. It'll remain 12-7, but Darius Williams ends up wrestling the ball away from Diggs, and it was an interception. Very similar play here, but unfortunately, Diggs, in this case, Mr. Miller, scores the touchdown.
Dominic Puntillo in on another tackle. I want to say that's 5 tackles already, including 2.5 tackles for loss. Jack Titler was a part of that tackle as well. So if we're not going to break, Todd, last week was pretty fun. We did not throw an incomplete pass between 3 different quarterbacks. No interceptions for the Flashes.
Love it.
And, of course, the highlight, as you alluded to before, the pass that Jack Fox caught came from senior offensive lineman Caden Wentzloff, who took off his number, I think, 71 jersey and put on a number 7 jersey. And our initial thought from the sideline was, who's 7? Is that a new player? He looks pretty big for a quarterback. And I'll tell you what, the first play that he threw was an incomplete pass that was blown down by a flag, and so it didn't count. The second play, he was looking to run, and that play was blown dead as well. The third one, he scrambled a little bit and found a wide-open Jack Fox. So much fun to see the senior offensive lineman throw a long touchdown pass.
Love it. I talked to his parents during the senior day celebration, and they were both still beaming. Flashes are going to get a return here. They'll get this one out just shy of the 40-yard line. Jeremiah Kess took that one on a line, sprints out to the 39-yard line. Good field position to start this drive for St. Joe. They're down 12-7 with 10-12 to play in the first half. The offense will look to get something going here.
Jeremiah Kess, very dangerous in all aspects. He had a receiving touchdown last week. He had a rushing touchdown as well. He's actually, in terms of yards per carry, the leading rusher for the season and the leading receiver.
3 wide receivers, 2 backs, shotgun formation. I think we've got a new weapon in the backfield there. That is Jack Fox. That throw is going to go just through his hands.
Pass attempted, number 1.
That
Jack
one will be
Fox.
incomplete.
Jack Fox is a guy who I think he's officially listed as tight end. He's played a lot of running back. He's played some quarterback, mostly to run the ball. He's often been in the backfield as a blocking back, and he's really got great hands. That wasn't on him. I'm a little bit surprised that he hasn't been more of a weapon in the passing attack this year.
3 wide receivers for the Flashes. Shotgun. Here's the snap. The handoff to Ely. Ely with a nice run around the right side. He runs a couple of guys over, gets across midfield, and that'll be a first down, a gain of 15 on the play.
He runs so hard all the time. It's just fun watching him play. Now, that was almost a tragic play because it looked like he almost passed the quarterback before receiving the handoff. Cody had to kind of catch up to him and put it in his belly, but all's well that ends well.
He hit the hole hard. In the end, they'll give him credit for 13 on the play. It'll be first down and 10 from the plus 49-yard line. Similar formation to the first play. 2 backs, 3 wide receivers. The handoff is to Fox. Fox, he's going to be taken down after a short gain. He'll get to the 46. It'll be second down and 8. 9:22 to play in the first half.
I like the call. I think the Flashes have been able to push the defense around, and I think when you think of this as a 4-quarter game, to be able to establish the line of scrimmage early in the game and wear down an opposing defense who also, in many cases, is the opposing offense. I think that works. A nice drive where you have some punishing hits works well for the Flashes in the long term.
Bunch formation here for St. Joe. Everybody relatively tight to the line. Man goes in motion. Here's the snap. Ott's going to look left. Throws this one to the sideline. That is going to be incomplete.
Cody looks to connect.
Intended for Jeremiah Kess.
It was a catchable ball, but there just wasn't a lot of room there. I think we were hoping that some of the guys in that bunch formation would be able to take some defenders away and that Jeremiah would have some space created by that, but he was closely shadowed. I don't know what kind of pressure Cody was facing there. Oftentimes you use your eyes there to try and move those defenders inside. I don't know what kind of routes they had as well to try and, just for a second or two, to try and get people to to hesitate and not follow that runner coming outside.
Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers. Jack Fox is in at quarterback. He brings Ely in motion. They pitch it to him. Now they pitch it back to Kess, who pitches it back to Fox, who fakes the throw and then runs it. And he'll pick up 7, and he'll be just shy of the line to gain. That was a little razzle-dazzle.
You don't see that play almost ever. I think there were 3 different pitches there, which schematically is kind of dangerous because you do a pitch one direction to move the defense that way, and then you go the other way, and then you move it back in the direction that you first moved the defense when you were trying to fake the other way. But, hey, it worked, and I think Jack was looking to throw there, but wisely tucked it and run when the pass wasn't there.
4th and 1, empty backfield again. Fox in at quarterback. He runs up to the line. They tried to draw him off sides, but I think one of the flashes moved as well, and that is going to that's going to make this a little more difficult. It was 4th down and 1. It's now going to be 4th down and 6. The ball was sitting just across the 40-yard line. And now it heads all the way back to the 44. And it looks like they're going to bring the punt team out.
And I'm a little bit surprised just because of the field position. You have positive field position here. I guess the thinking is you want to make them drive the long field. It's certainly a good field position to run a fake if you've got one in the system. It looks like we might be short a player.
Yeah, they are indeed. We've got some discussions happening on the sideline, and now a timeout is going to be called by St. Joe. We'll take a timeout as well. It's 12-7 in favor of the Flame. We'll be right back. Well, for you WSOS listeners, the Rolling Stones are playing in the background here at Versailles Field. My name is Todd. My co-host is Brian, and we are bringing you Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9. 7:16 to play in the first half. The Flashes are down 12-7 here at West Oaks Academy from Orlando, Florida. Flashes have the ball at the plus 44-yard line, but they're getting ready to punt on 4th and 6th. Adrian Hemelt gets away a pretty good kick that bounces at the 15-yard line. It'll roll down inside the 10. It'll be down at the 9. Field position battle wins, but the Flashes walk away a little frustrated. They had it 4th and 1, were trying to pick up the first down, and a procedural penalty turned it into a 4th and 6 and led to that punt. Tough break for the Flashes. The offense has had some moments where they've really been able to move the football, but they haven't sustained a drive yet. The touchdown that they got was actually a defensive touchdown. The offense, again, has shown flashes, but needs to do a little bit more.
Agreed. Haven't really gotten the downfield passing game going tonight, and it may be a matter of coverage. I think the downfield passing or the downfield coverage has been pretty good. I think there's a lot to exploit in the rushing game, but we've got to have a complementary running and passing game at least a little bit.
Good snap. Cohen is going to take this one off the left side. He's got a decent gain here up across the 20-yard line. He'll get a first down plus. It's a gain of 11 for the Flame. Inside 7 minutes to play now in the first half.
And I think that was that Ray Evans that made the tackle?
Hard to tell.
The 5 and the number 3 look a lot alike from up here in those black uniforms. I think it was Ray.
Another 3 wide receiver formation. An H-back and a running back. Shotgun. The snap. Handed off to Cohen. Cohen goes around the left side, and he'll sprint forward for a gain of a couple.
Another handoff, number 2.
Looked like he gained about 7, but they're marking him out of bounds quite a bit earlier than that.
You know, it's opposite strategies being taken by the two teams rushing-wise. Almost all the damage that the Flashes have done has occurred in between the tackles. Almost all the Flame damage has occurred outside of the tackles. So really what that tells your Flashes defense is we've got to seal the edge.
You know, I feel like West Oaks Academy was running to the right side of their line on those first couple of drives, but the last two runs have been exclusively to the left. The Flame moving from left to right on your radio dial. They're going to throw this one right. Caught at the 15. He's out across the 25. Spins his way out to the 26. He'll be knocked back. They'll give him forward progress to the 27. That was Pitts. He's been the most dangerous player on the field thus far. He had the big 61-yard touchdown on the first drive.
Ricky Fernandez was a big part of a group of about 3 tacklers on that play.
.6:05 to play. 3rd down and 4. Big moment here for this Flashes defense. Still plenty of time. This would be an opportune time to force a punt.
Yeah, a big stop here because you're right. You don't know if they'll go for it. This would be a dangerous position to go for it.
4 receivers in the formation. Man goes in motion. They're going to throw it to him. He sprinted out left. A flag comes out. He's going to get the first down and more. He'll get out to the 39, but there is a flag down. It was in the secondary over on the right-hand side of the field.
And while it could be a pass interference or a defensive hold, I think it's more likely to be an illegal lineman downfield or maybe a hold from one of the receivers.
Referee is getting ready to turn towards the press box. Hand goes up. Sideline warning is going to be called against West Oaks. So the play counts. It's a first down for the Flame. I'm used to seeing the flag come out in a break when it comes to a sideline warning, not mid-play.
That was odd.
And I don't know, maybe that sideline official, hard to say. All right, there's a water break out on the field. I could use one up here as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
About the raffle tonight.
5:23 to play in the first half. The Flashes are down 12-7 here to West Oaks Academy out of Orlando, Florida. My name is Todd. My co-host is Brian. It is a oddly hot and muggy night here at Versaghi Field. We had rain this morning. The day was a mixture of fog and humidity and then just pure heat. The field has dried, but it's a little choppy out there for these athletes. 5 wide receivers in the formation. Scratch that. 4 wide receivers. Back in the backfield. Fake it to him. Quick toss to the outside. That's going to be incomplete. A high throw intended for Daquan Robinson. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And I'll say it again, the Flashes, it's not too late to get a stop here. 5-10, the Flashes do have some big play potential. We haven't seen it tonight. The Ott to Kess combination has been potent. Actually, Cody is averaging something like 16 yards per completed pass for the season, which is kind of crazy high by the number of downfield passes. But you'd like to have some time to be able to mix in some runs and do a drive because we've been so effective. Got to get the stop first.
5:10 to play now in the first half. 2 wide receivers out to the right. I formation here. Quarterback goes under center. They've done this a few times over the course of the evening.
Slot receiver is virtually uncovered.
It's a quick pitch to the outside, though. The Flashes get good penetration initially. The runner slips and goes down, but a flag is thrown at the runner.
And it could be, I think it's going to be a hold. Jack Fox had pretty good condition sealing the edge and then went down hard. It could have just been a good block or a slip, but I think they're going to call a hold against him.
There is a holding call that'll go against West
the
Oaks.
Flames.
So that was going to be, so let's see, it was 2nd and 10. That was going to be a 3rd down and 15. Now they're going to make it 2nd and 20. I'm not sure. I think you have to consider declining the penalty there with a loss.
Well, I think it's going to be a little bit further back because the hold actually occurred behind the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
So it looks like it's more like a 2nd and 22 maybe, but I certainly
right.
hear your point.
You're right. 5 minutes to play now in the first half. 2nd and very long here for the Flame. Flash's defense has done well on a couple of those stretch plays.
Got to cover number 0, plain and simple.
He is wide to the left. They are shading a safety over that way now. Here's the snap, the pitch. He's going to throw it. Heaves this one deep. He has got a man, and that one is going to be somehow caught in traffic. And now Pitts is just dancing his way up the field. Stiff arms, and now gets tossed down to the ground. A huge gain on a ball that was just thrown up for grabs on the halfback toss.
Yeah, the coverage was pretty good,
Tough break for the
except
Flashes
for the
there.
fact that we had our strong safety on the coverage there as opposed to I see the flag down, but I think that's going to go against us, as you said. As opposed to Ray Evans, who I thought maybe was in a shadow position with him, but in the particular zone that we were playing, the strong safety picked up the deep ball. And that might have been a bit of a mismatch in favor of the Flame.
2 flags down on the field. That is going to be a defensive pass interference call, which they will undoubtedly decline. 4:24 to play in the first half, and the Flame are going to have this one at the 6-yard line.
Pitts is only 5'9" and 160. Not a freakish athlete size-wise, but he sure is a dangerous player.
Oh, without a doubt. He's played incredibly well thus far. A couple of touches and a whole lot of yards.
So one thing the Flashes don't want to have happen is to be down 2 scores at half. They do get the ball in the second half, but the clock continues to run just over 4 minutes.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 6. Ball's going to be on the right hash. Dominic Sanguine, the quarterback, has played well managing this offense.
Flames are in
Cohen is
shotgun.
the back in the backfield. Pitts goes in motion.
Quarterback
Dominic's
in the
going to try to keep it, and he's got nowhere to go.
Animal Sessions.
They tried to push him forward, but, and now we've got an injured Flash.
I think that's Jack Fox, and he pops up pretty quickly.
Stop was also made by number 55,
Jack is a pretty
Ryan Gurney.
sturdy guy who doesn't go off the field easily.
He doesn't. You talked about him a few weeks ago, kind of being the heartbeat of this team. Plays hard. He's been extremely successful on both sides of the ball. Strong, tough kid. Here's the snap. Sanguine looks left, throws it into the slot, nearly knocked away, but in the end caught for the touchdown. The slant
a
is
Flames
effective.
touchdown.
Touchdown for the Flames. The Flashes are now down 18-7.
Clock stopped at 3 minutes now. It had continued to run for about 5 or 6 seconds after the touchdown. The ref, I think, saw that and blew it dead. So the Flashes are going to have about 3 minutes. Over the last couple weeks, we've seen a semblance of a 2-minute offense, and the Flashes have been able to do some damage. We'll see what the Flashes bring tonight, but still, without a kicker, these 2 points could end up being important, and the Flashes' defense is not done yet.
Daquan Robinson is the recipient of that pass. He is now split out wide to the left as they get ready to go for 2. 5 wide receivers, and a flag comes out. I think that's going to be a delay of game.
And once again, just some poor execution by the Flame on special teams. I'll say it again, the Flashes should not be losing this game by 2 touchdowns. We have some things we can clean up, but because, as I brought up several times, because of the sheer difference in numbers, This is not a team you want to be in a trail position. You get up and you go downhill. You're giving them life by allowing them to stay in the game and to lead the game.
So after the penalty, the ball will come back to the 8-yard line. 4 wide receivers are all split out wide to the right, 1 to the left. But of course they look left on the slant. Daquan Robinson, 2-point conversion is good.
Well, the dangerous thing about the slant is, it was a good play call, empty backfield. There's of course you're going to pay a lot of attention on the left side of the defense, and it's one-on-one. You're on an island over there, and you have to cover the fade in the back corner of the end zone. You have to cover a hitch route, and a slant is so dangerous because you plant hard, pushing the receiver, pushing the defensive back backwards, and then you turn in, and you've all of a sudden got your back to the defender and space in front of you. Well-designed play, well executed.
So my favorite route as a receiver, and it's had so many different names, whether you want to call it a sluggo or a slant and go, however you like it. But my favorite route, especially as a little guy who really didn't want to run over the middle, but man, I could give you a hard fake right at that middle linebacker, draw the corner or the safety in, whoever decided to come up, plant, look, and then turn. Opportunities abound.
Absolutely.
I also got lit up a couple of times doing that same thing when we optioned it into the slant. The middle linebacker stepped up, and that was no fun. And that was an era where they could really take you out, too, back in the 1900s. 2:56 to play in the first half. More Rolling Stones on the speakers here in the stadium. Onside kick attempt by the Flame. Flashes do a nice job covering it up. You know, there's an opportunity there for the Flashes. Not only do they recover, but great field position. They're going to spot this one right at midfield.
A lot of demonstrations going on by a couple of the Flame players. Number 2 continues to hold up his hands. There was a hit on the complete opposite side of the onside kick from one of the Flash's return team members. I don't think he could say he didn't know what was going on. I think we might have gotten away with one. 3 minutes, 50 yards, Todd. 51.
4 wide receivers are split out wide to the right. Left, 1 to the right. Similar play. This one was intended for Glisson. He catches it, but there's a flag and a couple of whistles. We've got a... What was the call there, Mr. Ott?
I don't recognize that. It looked to me like the ref was about to do the sprinkler, but apparently that's the hand signal. Well, we're hearing illegal formation.
Our PA announcer called it both illegal formation as well as an illegal substitution. I can buy illegal formation. Either way, it's first down and 15.
Didn't see a substitution.
No, I didn't either. And they're running the exact same play, so it must not have been the formation. So I'm a little confused. And being confused is, well, confusing. Jack Fox is going to keep it, run straight up the middle, and boy, oh boy, was that effective. He'll pick up 8 on the play. A nice run straight up the middle.
Yeah, it sure was. They haven't figured out yet that when Jack Fox has the ball back there, it's usually going to be a run. But once again, you got the eye candy on the left side with the, was it 3 or 4 receivers?
That was 4 wide receivers out here to the left.
Not in any kind of a stack formation like we saw with the trips previous.
No, and on the play that was whistled dead, and here comes that 3-man stack over on the right. Let's pay attention here. Shotgun, snap, quick throw to the outside to Ray Evans. Evans, ooh, a big hit. He spins away from it, stays on his feet. He'll pick up a solid 6 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. Boy, oh boy, did he take a big hit.
He sure did, but it didn't stop him.
1:38 to play in the half.
We haven't seen as much from Ray Evans in the passing game, or frankly, a little bit in the running game the last few weeks. Nice to see him. He's got the only 2 catches tonight for the Flashes.
Flashes hustle to the line here. Plenty of time on the play clock, but the game clock is getting dangerously low. Here's the snap. Ely with the handoff, and he is going to
Number
be
6,
bottled up.
Brody, still up on his
He
feet.
gets thrown backwards. They'll give him forward progress to the 44, but that's going to be a loss, and it's going to be 4th down and 3. We are inside a minute to
No gain on
play.
the play.
The Flashes, who were really trying to get points on the board before the end of the half. You call it that middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 of the second. Flashes were looking for maybe a double up here with points. But now with 45 seconds to go, it almost looks like they're just wasting time.
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously you don't want to give up the field position, but there's less than 30 seconds left when they get it. I guess they're going to call a timeout here and run a play, maybe dial up a trick play. But
So
I think
they're
down
going to run the play clock all the way down to 1 second. The game clock kept rolling past 21. It's sitting at 19 right now, but I think they might adjust that back to 21 or 22.
I think down 2 scores, you got to take a shot here. If not a full touchdown shot, at least something to convert. And, by running the play clock down so low, you don't have a lot of time to run more than maybe 1 or 2 additional plays if you convert here.
Well, Coach Cash certainly knows a lot more about this team than I do, so I'm going to trust in Coach. He sends his men back out there. It is 4th down and 3. The Flashes are in plus territory at the Flame 44. They're down 20-7 with 19 seconds to play in the first half, and the Flashes will get the ball to start the second half.
And I think we'll tell a lot by the formation. This looks to be a passing formation for the Flashes. Number 1's a pretty good athlete over there guarding Mr. Kess. I think Jeremiah is going to have to work his way open. They do have a free safety that's playing about 18, 17 yards deep.
Here's the snap. Ott throws this one to the outside. He's got a first down. Jeremiah with a nice spin move. He gets taken down to 35. The ball comes out late, but the official whistles that it was down and a timeout on the Flashes side. That'll be a first down for St. Joe. They'll have it at the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. They do give them the 35. Just under 11 seconds to play in the half. The Flashes may have time for one more play, 2 if there's a timeout left.
And I think the idea there was, let's get it to our best athlete in space. Obviously, the defense is prepared for the deep ball, so let's throw something short. He's got one-on-one coverage. If he can shake that first defender and get upfield in a hurry, then he only has a safety to beat. I think it's a reasonable play call for the offense. 10.8 seconds left. You have time to throw something underneath and then take a shot at the end zone. You don't have a lot of time, and that might have been our last timeout.
Yeah, and up on the scoreboard, it still lists us with 3, so I know that's not the right number. I've been trying to think back over the course of the half. I know unquestionably 1. I just don't know if there was a second. I know West Oaks used those 2 timeouts. Flashes are over the ball, though. West Oaks wasn't ready. Ott puts this one in the air, and it's going to be intercepted at the 17-yard line. That's Pitts. He's been trouble. Hustling Brody Ely takes him down at the 45-yard line and prevents any additional damage. There is still 1.2 seconds to go in the first half. So I think they're going to get one more opportunity here for a throw. There is a flag down on the sidelines. There might have been some jibber-jabber there on the bench.
I think that was a Mr. T word back in the day.
I pity the fool.
Well, it's nothing more than a punt if we stop them here. I think the idea, again, that's been kind of a hit and miss play all season long.
Oof, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. There was some jibber-jabber on the sideline there, and the Flashes are going to be called for the penalty. The ball's going to be spotted at the 31-yard line, 1.2 seconds to go on the clock, so there'll be one final play in this first half. Flashes defense needs to come up with a stop here.
The problem with the play that we just ran was you had the safety on the near hash, And so it actually wasn't the defensive back, it wasn't the cornerback that made a play. The safety was a little bit too close to that throw to allow a one-on-one play.
5 wide receivers, 4 of them out to the left. Sanguine puts this one up in the air. Ball's going to be intercepted, but it is out of bounds. Doesn't matter. That's it for the first half. The Flashes avoid a disaster here to close out the half. They're down 20-7. And we're going to hope that the conversations at halftime, team to coach, team to team, they find some answers here and they can start making some of the plays we have seen this offense make before in the second. 17 minutes are on the halftime clock, so we'll be back with you somewhere in the 8:21, 8:22 area to bring you the second half of football here from Versailles Field. My name is Todd. My co-host is Brian. This is Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9. Early shout out to our producer Kathy back in the WSOS studios, and Nora, our awesome in-stadium producer here. She's managing both the camera and the computer for the Flashes digital network. Really appreciate the work of our students out on the field, up here in the booth, in the stands, and now out on the field right now. Our cheerleaders are getting ready to bring you their performance for the evening. So we'll let you check that out, and we'll be back on the other side.
District 78.
Great performance there by the St. Joe cheerleaders. Shout out to Tegan Hill in her first year as head coach of the Flashes cheerleaders. Great performance on senior night. We'll be back.
Give it up.
Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on the Flashes Digital Network. They've got 2 minutes up on the clock there before we get this second half started. We are live from Versailles Field. A lot of fun there at halftime. Great performance by the cheerleaders. Got a chance to talk to a couple of our parents that are all just having a great evening. We're a little concerned about the weather heading into tonight. A lot of water out on the field and in the peripheral areas, but in the end, the spectators are having a blast. The Flashes out on the field are going to hope to get things going. There was a little bit of a struggle in the first half to really get consistent offensive drives going. The defense was, again, they made some big plays, and then they got hit by the big play. What's your overall assessment of what you saw?
You know, as I talked to people downstairs during halftime, I think there was just a feel of frustration. We're losing by 2 touchdowns, and there was a feel that we should be winning by 2 touchdowns. Nothing against the Flash, or excuse me, the team we're playing. What are they again? The Flame, yes.
Yes,
Flame and the Flash.
I feel like we need a sign up here in atop the press box here that's got the opposing team's mascot and colors just up here for you.
I'm doing better tonight. Who were the guys I kept forgetting a few weeks ago?
You've forgotten them again.
I have forgotten again.
Yes.
I've tried a few. You've forgotten them too.
I have, because we got too many things going on. I got to focus on what's happening right now.
But the frustration that comes, I think, from the fans is just knowing that we've done enough offensively to show that we can win the line of scrimmage. And usually the team that wins the line of scrimmage wins the game. We I think need to open up the passing game a little bit, at least for the short and intermediate. We haven't shown any likelihood to hit something down the field. Defensively, we're stout in the middle. We've gotten a little bit better on the outside runs, but that's really where we've taken some hits. And then, like you said, just stopping number 0, stopping their big playmaker.
Yeah, and he's made quite a few plays on the offensive side of the ball. It was Anquan Henderson who was the recipient of that last touchdown pass in the 2-point conversion. But then you go back to 0 with Pitts, who had the pick to end the first half. The Flashes will start the second half with the football. Flashes will be moving from right to left on your radio dial. They're in all black uniforms tonight with green and gold numbers.
They had 11 kicking the little spin move on the kick.
Onside kick by the Flames.
Ooh, this one is going to bounce off a Flash and is going to be covered up.
Recovered by the Flashes.
Back around the 37-yard line.
They had 11 on the field on the kicking team. A 12th ran on. As the kicker ran up like he was going to kick it and then did a little circle and came back. A 12th came on. They realized they had 12. They took him off, and then there was another little 360 before the kicker kicked it. Every kick is an adventure, and we're losing by 2 touchdowns.
The Flashes are going to attempt to change that. It's 20-7 right now. 11:55 is on the clock for the third quarter. Flashes have it 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. The second half starts as the first half did for the Flashes with a Brody Ely run. He goes straight up the middle for 7 yards. He'll get it out to the 45. The ball came out late. West Oaks Academy is lobbying for it to be theirs. But unfortunately for them, but fortunately for the Flashes, they're going to hang on to the football.
Looks like there's a flag at the end of the play there, so the Flashes are going to get a first down out of this. But, that's Brody Ely is evidence of the point that I was making. We've controlled the line of scrimmage. Brody Ely has had 1 run for less than 5 yards. Let's continue to pound the rock. Jack Fox has run the ball well in between the tackles. He's had 1 run for less than 7 yards. We need more touches for those guys.
Here's the snap. The handoff goes to Ely. Ely is trying to break away from the tackle, but unfortunately he is going to be taken down for a loss back at the 42-yard line. We've hit that moment in the evening. We've hit that point in the evening where these old eyes are struggling to see the play sheet here, and we still haven't had a light installed up here. So we'll have to get that worked out. But it was number 50 who ultimately brought him down. It's going to be 2nd down and 12. 11 minutes to play in the third quarter. Orbit motion there for Ray Evans. Ott is the quarterback. He takes the snap, gives it to Evans, and Evans is going to be taken down in the backfield. And sure enough, that was number 50 once again. He's become a little bit of a problem here on the defense. Tindrick Madry is the man, and he makes another play.
And I think, again, we have had success with the rushing game, but we need to mix up a little bit of I think, short and intermediate passes. The pass to Kess was the longest pass tonight. It was only 9 yards, and that was in a position where we were pushing the ball down the field, and maybe there was a little more space.
Ott takes the snap, throws this one. He's got a man in and out of his hands, just up and over Glisson's. He can't bring it in, and that's going to bring up that's going to be fourth down. Punt unit runs out onto the field. The alarm in the parking lot has finally gone off, so if you were hearing honking in the background, that's now been addressed.
Well, and 4th and 13, even down 2 scores, and even in this field position, the 43-yard line, I do think punting and playing field position is the way to go. Just got to get a stop defensively.
Hemelt gets off a nice kick, high end-over-end kick that is muffed. Oh, but he ends up, Pitts has got it. He's out across the 20, now across the 30. A flag comes out. He's across the 40-yard line where he goes out of bounds. Adrian Hemelt is going to get credit for the tackle, but there's a flag back at the 22-yard line and an official lingering all the way back at the 10. This one's coming back.
Yeah, and that's almost always in a position, the official gives it away, but that's almost always a position of a hold or a block in the back. Good break for the Flashes, because that's the one guy you want to be really careful about giving it to, and he had a lot of open space on that right sideline.
And, the timing of some of those kickoff and punt returns, when the ball gets muffed and everybody starts running towards it and then they scoop it and go, I'm telling you, there's some big returns. I wonder how many of these guys don't find a way to do it on purpose, just trying to throw off the timing of the return, give their blocks a little more time to get set up, find a hole and burst through it, which is what Pitts did there.
I think Adrian took something off of that kick. I saw him during halftime, and he was really booming them. That was a little bit of a lower kick simply because of the field position. He didn't want to send it into the end zone, but that allowed the ball to get there quicker, and that means the coverage team wasn't in position to make a play, and that opened up the big return. Great field position, though, from a defensive standpoint at the 11-yard line after the penalty.
Ball is on the right hash. 2 wide receivers are out to the wide side of the field. I formation here. Dominic under center takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Cohen. Cohen goes straight up the middle, but not far. Ray Evans drags him down. He'll pick up 2 on the play. It'll be second down, and they're going to give him 3, so 2nd and 7.
Third tackle of the night for Ray Evans, and that looked like a Larry Sessions tackle. He authoritatively threw him to the ground.
Closing in on 9 minutes to play in the third quarter. Again, I formation. Dominic goes under center. He takes the snap, hands it off to Cohen. Cohen goes off right guard, tries to break the first tackle, but he's going to be dragged down by Brody Ely. Steps over another man. That was Jack Fox. He'll pick up a couple. It'll be third down and a long 4.
Jack Fox has been active as always. 4 tackles for Jack.
8:43 now on the clock. It's 20-7 in favor of the Flame. The Flashes will look to change their fortunes. As I look to find some words. Handoff to Cohen. Cohen's got some room straight up the middle. He's across the 30, and now the 35. Tries to cut it back at the 40, but he slips and goes down. He thought that he was gone. He may have been.
Todd, one of the themes of the game, we don't keep these stats up here, but third down conversions, I got to think they're 75-80% for the Flame. That's where we've been. To their credit, they've often been in a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 makeable situation. But, boy, I don't think they've punted yet. I'm not sure if we stopped them yet on third down.
No, they haven't punted, and that first touchdown was on a third down and short. Cohen goes around the left side. They won't have to deal with a third down on – ooh, the ball comes out at the end, But no, the officials are ruling him down. He picked up 12 on the play. Cohen lost the ball in the end. Jack Titler was kind enough to separate him from the ball, but only after he had a knee down on the ground. Speaking of on the ground, there is a flash down on the ground, and he looks to be in some pain. If I'm not mistaken, that's Larry Sessions. Tina Vias, the trainer, is out there first. Dr. James Grimes is heading out to do a little evaluation here. We'll take a minute and give them a chance to take care of this athlete, and then we'll be back on the other side. It is the Flames 20, the Flashes 7. The Flame retakes the field. They've got the ball at the Flashes' 48-yard line. Flashes with one deep safety. They're bringing some men up to the line. They're showing blitz. It's a reverse. The quick pitch from Cohen to Pitts, and Pitts is out in the open field trying to get up to full speed. Stumbles his way across the 35 and gets down to the 31-yard line. He had a head of steam and was redirected by, looks like, Fernandez.
Boy, it was a really well-designed play, because when you look at the direction that the initial action was going, the Flashes had it well defended, but really sold out on the right side of the defense and just didn't have anybody there to set the edge. We're fortunate. I don't know if it was Ricky Fernandez that had the initial slowdown that allowed Jack Fox to come in and finish the tackle, but we're fortunate that we were able to get a handle on him because he had a lot of open space.
Handoff goes to Cohen. Cohen tries to push this one off to the right side. Flash's defense is there and ready. Ely and Fox bring him down. He'll get 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7. We're under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And apart from a turnover, this is about absolutely the worst formula for victory that could have happened in the second half. We get 1 first down, I think, and then turn the ball over with a punt. And then a methodical drive that now has gone 60 yards, and they are now winning the line of scrimmage on this drive as the Flashes start to tire and injuries even start to become a factor.
Ooh, some movement on the line there. That'll send the Flame backwards. It'll be 2nd down and 11 after they mark off the penalty. 6:22 to play in the third quarter. The Flame from West Oaks Academy in Orlando, Florida, lead the Flashes 20-7. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we have played West Oaks Academy.
Yeah, and in looking at their schedule for the past 2 years, there was not a single team that I even recognized in terms of teams that we might play or that our opponents might play. Appreciate them making the trip up.
Indeed. Water break out on the field. You know what that means. We'll be right back. The Werewolves of London are playing on the PA system. Nope, not the Werewolves of London. That has turned into a little Kid Rock.
We've got 3 Cathedral Parish School cheerleaders that have joined our St. Joe cheerleaders today. It is grade school night And there's a
Guys,
strong
you don't wanna go
CPS
to jail, so
contingent
make sure you cheer.
in the stands.
Make sure you cheer, or else you're probably going to jail. G11 does have handcuffs, so make sure you cheer.
Ay, ay, ay. There's some tomfoolery going on in the PA booth just below us. Flashes, though, some serious pressure here. They're going to sniff out that screen. Jack Fox is going to spin the back down in the backfield. That'll be another loss, and West Oaks Academy is going backwards. That 2nd and 12 now leads to a 3rd and 17.
Terrific play by Jack, reading the screen. Great early penetration by the Flashes defense. And I think he spun him around twice before he brought him down. None of the other Flashes could get a hand on him because he was spinning around so much.
5:48, 3rd and long.
Where is number 0? That's what I'm wondering if I'm the Flashes defense. We hear the call from up here on the booth further down, Targon Ridley. They're definitely going deep here. We're all thinking it. Are we ready for it?
Jaguar fans are starting to call Calvin Ridley, who also wears number 0, Agent 0. And right now I'm trying to find Agent 0, but he's in the backfield. He's actually the deep back in an I formation.
A lot of
All
movements.
sorts of issues there on the snap. Delay a game penalty, though, is going to back this one up a little bit further. So they'll be looking at 3rd and around 22.
Not sure what the play design there was. I don't think it was going to be a run to Hicks. I think it was a pass out of the backfield, but it wasn't the traditional flare pass that goes
Flames
more
looking at a
wide
3rd
than
and very
upfield.
long.
He was headed upfield.
Who's Hicks?
Isn't that number 0?
That's Pitts.
Pitts, Hicks.
No, he's earned it. He's earned it. He's Pitts. He's as dominant tonight as Kyle Pitts was when he was playing for the University of Florida. Not the Kyle Pitts thus far who has been trying to find his way in the NFL in that Atlanta Falcons offense.
Maybe if the St. Joe principal installed some lights up here on the top of the press box, then my fading eyes wouldn't have to depend on my fading memory.
Well, maybe if the CPS principal had done just a little more research before the game, he would already have the name Pitts locked in, so it wouldn't be about short-term memory, it would already be in his long-term memory.
That's fading too.
Fair enough. All right, it'll be 3rd down and very long on the other side of this water break. 5:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Flashes are down 20-7. They had a huge 48-0 victory last week. Not having the same success offensively this week. It is senior night here, though. We've had a couple of seniors who have already made some big plays. I'm seeing guys like Caden Wensloff. I'm seeing guys like Big Clay Kennedy who are making some plays on the line. But I know a few more seniors. I'm looking back there right now at Patrick Fields. I know he would love to get a nice interception right here. He's already leading the team with 3. I think a 4th tonight would be great. This might be the play for it, too. I formation. They are going to throw it. Quick throw to the outside on the left. The ball comes out. It is recovered by the Flame. They'll pick up about 7 on the play. It's going to be 4th down and 15.
Yeah, great play by the Flashes defense. Jack Titler was in on the stop. I couldn't tell who got there first. It might have been Max Grimes. Titler also in position potentially for a fumble recovery. 4th and 15 is where we want to be here. We don't see a punter, but I'm not sure that we would recognize him if they sent one out. We'll know by the formation. The quarterback has jogged onto the field with the play, so we think they're probably going to take a shot here, which if we can get a 4th down stop means decent field position at the 35.
Dominic Sanguine is the quarterback. Mr. Pitts is in the slot to the right. He's got 3 of his friends also split out wide. An extra guy has now come out onto the field. He's wearing number 12, but he is only the 11th player. Here's the snap. Sanguine looks left, throws this one. He has got a man, and that one is going to be broken up. There is Patrick Fields. He knocks that one away, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and it was actually the offensive player who knocked it away. It was thrown right at Patrick Fields. If Patrick would have stepped forward a little bit, he might have had a pick with some room to run, but great that he was there. The Flashes brought a blitz, picked up very well by the offensive line. The quarterback had time to play, but it just wasn't a well-delivered ball.
We can do better than that.
All right, so 1st down and 10 for St. Joe. They've got it at their own 35. Ball's going to be on the right hash. Inside 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Flashes down 20-7, looking to change their fortunes here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. Ott takes the snap, hands it off to Ely. Ely's got some room around the left side, cuts it upfield at the 40, goes out across the 45 and dives forward to the 47-yard line.
Give him some time and let him cook.
Great run there.
A rare outside the tackle run, but Brody Ely has power and speed. That was a fun run to see, and again, he's had one run of less than 5 yards. That's a guy who's feeling it tonight.
You know, and coming into the game, he was only averaging, I think, 3 or 3.5 yards a carry, so this has been a big night for him. Fox, Ely is going to take the pitch, and he's going to carry a man for a gain of 3. He was actually contacted in the backfield, had a guy who jumped on his back like a rucksack, and he carried him forward for a couple of yards. He'll get to midfield. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, that was all Brody Ely. You're right. That should have been a 2 or 3 yard loss. 2 guys, penetration. Got to block it better if we're going to expect our running backs to make plays.
3 wide receivers are split out wide to the left, 2 to the right, including Ely. He's in the slot. He's been the featured player on this drive.
I think it's Fox.
Jack Fox is at quarterback. He's going to keep it. He cuts it up at the 45-yard line. He'll get out to the 43. A flag does come out late, though. I don't like it.
No, this could really hurt. Our offensive momentum has been repeatedly hurt by flags, and it is a hold.
Holding call will go against the Flashes. So, you know, we had a couple of drives in the first half where they really made some plays, and then they stalled. Here's another drive. They really were starting to build some momentum. But now what was going to be a 3rd down and 2. Oh, my goodness, they are marking this ball all the way back to the Flashes 40. It is going to be 2nd down and 18. And respectfully, I don't like that.
No.
That's not ideal for us.
Boy, there's a whole lot of space. We've got 10 defenders within 5-6 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Man comes in motion. They're going to fake the pitch. Ott is going to try to run it, but he is going to be pile-drived into the ground. The ball comes out. The Flashes have recovered. There is a man still down on the field for the Flame, but he's up and on his feet. I would dare say that that's the kicker, but he is in fact by nature a linebacker and a pretty good one.
And I like the play call. I like the play idea. We haven't seen that quarterback run since the first quarter, and it was successful then, but boy, there was somebody in Cody's face, and he got tackled authoritatively there by 1, if not 2 defenders.
So, 3rd down and very long. 1:45 to play in the third quarter. Ray Evans is split out wide to the left. There's a trio of Flashes out to the right. Ott takes the snap. He looks left, throws it, and that ball was caught, and now they rule it incomplete. He lost it as he went to the ground. Man, he would have gotten across midfield. It would have been 4th down and maybe 4, 4th down and 5. But instead, it's going to remain 4th down and 20+, and they're going to have to punt this one away. A nice route there by Ray Evans, a well-delivered ball, but he just couldn't hang on to it as he hit the ground.
Yeah, a little bit low, but definitely catchable. And you're right, that a catch there, even though he's going to get no yards after the catch because of the low throw and him going down to get it, puts us in position where you go for it on 4th and 4.
Hemelt with a high end-over-end kick that unfortunately takes a Flame bounce. Somebody needs to get a hand on that. Jeremiah Kess does, and the ball will be spotted at the 34-yard line.
Solid punt.
That's where the Flame will take back over.
Flames look to take over.
They have a 20-7 lead, and they have the football in their hands again. We're going to try to keep it out of the hands of Pitts because he's been the Pitts for us.
Indeed. I have no other response. Time for the defense to step up and make a play. The last drive just took too much time and gained too many yardage. And if the Flashes are going to have a chance, we need time for a couple of drives. Who's going to make a play, knowing that there's a great likelihood that we're going to see runs on the first 3 plays?
Timeout is called by the Flame.
Timeout Flames.
We'll be back in 30 seconds. Flash's offense stalls after a unfortunate penalty. Flashes find themselves having to punt, put the ball back in the hands of the Flames. The Flames have moved the ball effectively. They've scored on a couple of big plays over the course of the evening. Flash's defense just came up big. Hopefully they will be able to do that again. 1:21 to play in the third quarter. The Flame lead it 20-7. They've got 2 wide receivers to their right side. They're moving from left to right on your radio dial. I formation here. Big linebacker in at fullback. They're going to hand it to Cohen. Cohen slips in the backfield. Ends up making a nice move through the A gap. Picks up 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Max Grimes was in there. I think Jack Titler was a factor in that tackle as well. It's gut check time, Todd. We've got to make a stand if we want to have a chance to win this game. There's still a little over a quarter left, and it's time to dig deep and fight hard and shut it down.
2nd and 7. Looks like we'll see the I formation again. There's a tight end to the open side of the field. The ball's right there in the middle. Handoff goes to the fullback, who powers his way forward. He's going to pick up a couple. He'll get out to the 40-yard line. Looks like it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Larry Sessions is back out there. Good to see that. Max Grimes was in on the tackle along with Larry.
Looks like the third quarter is going to run out. James Wilkie, who has played guard, fullback, and kicker throughout the evening, got his first carry of the night. When we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 4 and a chance for the Flashes to get a stop and get the football back. We'll hope that's the case. We'll be back in 30 seconds to bring you the fourth quarter of Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9.
She and Melody are going to do battle.
Well, the Flashes are doing battle with the Flame tonight. 20-7 is the score currently. It's 3rd down and 4 for the West Oaks Academy Flame. They are now switching sides of the field here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. They'll be moving from right to left on your radio dial. They're wearing, I guess it's like a Boston College type uniform. Gold helmet, gold pants, white jersey with some maroon-ish numbers. Flashes in all black tonight. A flag comes out. The opening play of the fourth quarter, and there's a delay of game penalty. So that works. That works to the Flashes' favor. So a 3rd down and 4 is now a 3rd down and 9.
As I've
I'm not
said,
sure how that happens coming out of the quarterback.
it's hard to believe. As I've said at least once or twice, that they've been almost unstoppable on third down. I don't recall a stop that we have made.
Oh, just the last drive.
Okay, one stop. This is a great opportunity because that 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, they've been deadly. So let's see what we can do with it here.
So they stick with the I formation. 2 wide receivers, a tight end. Roll out to the right, makes the throw, and that one is going to be intercepted.
Profit.
Jeremiah Kess with the pick right at midfield.
Beautiful heads-up play by the Prophet.
Great catch. And that's how the fourth quarter starts. Flashes with a turnover. Jeremiah appears to still be on the ground, though. I don't like that at all.
No, our most dynamic receiver, and you figure we're probably going to have to complete a few. That play was caused by some pressure from a Flash's defensive lineman. Quarterback made the mistake of throwing off his back foot. Tried to throw the ball long, but Jeremiah, the receiver, kind of gave up on it. Jeremiah was behind the receiver and able to make the play. Still down with the trainer tending to him. Looks like it might be a cramp as he's getting stretched, which is really good news for the Flashes.
So that's a good sign when it comes to his ability to continue in this game. Hopefully we figure out and find out for sure that he is healthy, and if he's able to get back out there, I know he'll be excited. He and I actually talked right after lunch today. He asked me if we were doing this broadcast and if we were going to be talking about him. And I said, hey, you make a play, and I'll gladly do it. And there he is making a play. You know, he's a junior, but he is clearly one of the leaders on this team. He has been incredibly productive offensively, as you mentioned earlier, over 400 yards receiving and a couple of touchdowns. He's made some really big plays. But like so many of the best players on this team, he's playing in all 3 phases. He's a receiver, he's a defensive back, he's on the kickoff return team, he's a gunner on the kickoff team. I mean, he's out there working all night long. He's hydrating on the sidelines as we speak, and I know he'll hope to get back out there shortly. But right now, the Flashes are back on offense. They have it at midfield.
I think you're going to see a run from Brody Ely here. Almost every drive has started with one.
That is exactly what they do. He gets stretched out to the left, does a nice job. Look at him driving those legs forward. And what could have been a 2-yard loss is going to be a 7-yard gain.
That was pretty amazing because I think the defense knew that Brody Ely was getting the ball too and had it well covered, but he just never stopped churning those legs. So we had a similar start to the last drive, and actually we've had a few drives that have started this way with some effective running plays and then have been undone by penalties, by a dropped snap. Let's see if the Flashes can put something together. There's plenty of time to rely on the run with a few passes sprinkled in. Empty backfield.
Empty backfield with Jack Fox in at quarterback. He was ready to run. He's going to get met at the line, though. Kind of felt like the defense was anticipating the run there. They collapsed that line, kind of a run blitz there right away. So it'll be 3rd down and short. 3rd down and 2 to be exact. Inside 11 minutes to play. Flashes with a really important drive. This is go for it territory. So you've got 2 shots at it in my mind. Cody Ott runs back out on the field to meet his teammates. About 20 seconds on the play clock. They're talking in the huddle. Defense has kind of a 4-3 look. Although more of a nickel with this 5 wide receiver set. Fox still in at quarterback. He takes the snap, rolls right, throws this one to Evans. Evans trying to make a move, gets to the outside, stiff arms a man at the 38-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for St. Joe. And it looks like one of the Flame is down on this Flashes sideline.
Flashes is starting to cook now.
Hopefully for his sake it's just a cramp, but he's definitely in some pain.
That was Jack Fox's 2nd pass of the season. Both of them have been completed.
Looks like a cramp on the sideline. Calf in the cramp. He's going to take a minute to settle that down. And both teams are going to take a knee and make sure he's okay. We'll give them 30 seconds to get it figured out, and then we'll be right back. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and the Flashes Digital Network. My name is Todd. My co-host is Brian. We are broadcasting live from Versailles Field at St. Joseph Academy. It's a beautiful night out, but it's also been kind of hot and humid. A couple of players now have gone down with cramps. All the players right now are out there doing some stretches. And the athlete from West Oaks, I believe that is Riley, is now going to make his way across the field. It's going to be a long walk from one side of the field to the other, and he's moving a little slow. Anybody who's dealt with a serious cramp in their calf knows how painful that can be, and he might actually have doubled up the cramps there based on the way they were stretching him.
Not a lot of fresh bodies for West Oaks on the sidelines. There could be an opportunity here to maybe attack the right side. Good news for the Flashes. Jeremiah Kess is over there again.
You know, the painful thing about a cramp, or maybe the hardest thing about a cramp mid-game, is you can get stretched out, you can kind of get that knot out, but there is a possibility, if not a likelihood, that it tightens right back up in the not-too-distant future. And it seems like it's those big impact plays where guys go max effort that's when they lock up. So hopefully Kess is going to be okay, and hopefully the young man from West Oaks is going to be okay as well. He's definitely taking a slow walk back across the field.
You know, this is another one of those situations that we found ourselves in right before halftime, where you've got Kess on the near side of the field. The ball is on the hash, the right hash, moving towards the end zone with Kess on the right side. And Pitts' position over the ball as the safety is a dangerous position if we try to throw to Kess up that right sideline, which we like to do.
3 wide receivers, 2 out to the left, 1 to the right. Ott looks that way. He's got a man. He completes that one to Ray Evans. He'll pick up 8 on the play. A nice connection there.
Yeah, and I like those short and intermediate passes. I think that we need more of those. Ray Evans has been more involved in the passing game this game than probably any other game. Looks like there might be a game plan to stop Kess. Jeremiah has been such a dangerous receiver, so just taking what the defense will give us might open some things up. The Flashes have almost entirely run on these second or third and short, and Jack Fox is in at quarterback again.
He takes the snap, looks right, throws it. That's complete to Glisson. Glisson's got a couple of men in front of him, tries to stiff arm one of them out of the way, but he'll be pushed out of bounds back at the 35-yard line. That is going to be a loss of 4 yards. A second down and short is going to turn into a third down and maybe even more than medium. Yeah, they're bringing this one all the way back to the 35. It'll be third down and 8.
Yeah, that hurts, and that explains why you run it on second and third. Wasn't blocked well. There were defenders back there challenging Asher almost as soon as he got the ball. So this 3rd and 8 is obviously 4-down territory. Need to at least get half of it.
Ott's got 2 backs in the backfield with him. He takes the snap. He's looking right. He's got time. Puts this one up in the air, but unfortunately out of bounds and incomplete. 9:37 to play in the ball game. Flashes are now facing a 4th down and 8. They are in plus territory. They are going for it.
I'm almost glad, Todd, that pass was out of bounds, because Pitts was all over it again, just like the interception at the end of the first half. I think on the near side of the field, that pass that's been so successful for the Flashes is just not there tonight.
All right, this is a big one. Flashes kind of a bunch formation here. Ott and Fox in the backfield. Fox with a big block. They complete the pass to Fox, who gets out across the 20-yard line, gets down to the 17. Brody Ely was the man in the backfield who did a phenomenal job giving Ott time to throw. He finds Fox up the right sideline, and Fox goes out and gets the first down. 3 key players all contribute to a huge play there. The O-line gave him time, and Ely bought him just that little extra that he needed.
And that was a huge play for the Flashes offense. You needed to move the chains. That was the longest pass play at 19 yards of the night so far. Maybe that will spark some life with 9:14. Still plenty of time.
Inside the 20, Fox is in at quarterback. He pitches it quickly, and it goes to Ely. Ely then on the reverse gives it to Kess. Kess drops it, picks it up, sprints to the left sideline, ultimately goes out of bounds after gaining 2 yards on the play. A whole lot happened. Kess probably ran 40 yards and ended up gaining 3.
Yeah, a whole lot of work for 2 or 3 yards and a whole lot of danger there because the ball changed hands twice and hit the ground once. So we averted disaster and still have a position where with the good thing about being down is you know you've got 3 plays to get it. There's no thought of kicking a field goal here. So you're thinking of plays that can get you 8 yards in 3.
The Flame lead the Flashes 20-7, but the Flashes are now in the red zone. Ott's got time to throw, puts this one into the end zone, incomplete. That was intended for Kess. Our guy Pitts was there in coverage.
Great job by the offensive line. Cody had tons of time to throw there. A little surprised that when the first couple reads weren't there, he didn't take off and run and at least try to get something there. I think he thought he saw something developing, but it's also possible that he just threw it away. That clock in a quarterback's head starts to run, and usually it runs out before the throw was made there.
Ball's on the left hash. Flashes have 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. Ott looks that way. He's under pressure. He steps up, lets this one go, and that is going to be caught at the 6-yard line. That's Jeremiah Kess. They mark him out at the 6. It'll be 4th and short.
Well, that was a fantastic throw, and he really bought some space with his feet there. I think, Todd, that was
Scratch
actually
that. That's going to be a
down.
first down. That is a first down for the Flashes. 8:06 to play in the ball game.
Here we go.
Man, that was big.
Was that Evans who caught the ball?
No, that was Kess.
That was Kess. Good to see that connection showing some life in an important 4th quarter.
Glisson is the man on the right, but the handoff goes to Ely. Ely barrels his way into the end zone. Touchdown Flashes. Brody Ely, who has been a man on a mission on senior night, really successful there.
And that was the absolute right call. You've loosened up the defense with a few pass plays. Brody has run so hard all night, and now that the defense isn't stacking the box to stop him, he's suddenly got some space, and he got in pretty easily from 6 yards.
He has been running with a lot of will tonight, and it was almost as if he ran harder on that play than he needed to. There was no real pushback, and the one guy that tried to hit him just kind of fell down in front of him. Ooh, a lot of penetration there by the defense, but there is going to be a penalty. It's going to go against the Flashes. That's that hand signal that we're not terribly familiar with, and unfortunately that is going to lead to a longer extra point than we would prefer. So right now it's 20-13. The Flashes with the extra point can stay 1 point ahead of the split.
I think that was a formation issue. Flashes either had too many or too few on the line.
This will be a 22-yard extra point. Kick looks good to me, and the official agrees. 20-14 with under 8 to play. The Flashes come alive on offense. That was a great drive. It had balance, it had run, it had pass. Nicely done.
And in the games where they haven't gotten blown out or blown someone out, the Flashes have actually been a 4th quarter team. I think that's probably about the 5th 4th quarter scoring drive that we've had, with a good number of them coming from behind and 2 of them resulting in victories. It'd be nice, Todd. I'm sorry, one of them resulting in victory. It'd be nice if we could make that 2 tonight.
I like it. A lot of smoke over there in the end zone. The cannon explosion, I suppose we'll call it, celebrating that touchdown. There's a thick heaviness to the air tonight with all this humidity, and that smoke is getting caught up in it, creating a nice ambiance with the glow from the lights. Sorry, Brian, I needed to describe what we're seeing here. There's this wistful energy to all of that smoke as it dissipates around the lights. Ooh, it is an onside kick attempt, but I'm not sure the ball is going to go 10 yards. It only goes 9, but then one of the Flame players inadvisably tries to pick it up. The Flashes claim that they've recovered the fumble or the touched ball. One official who is not actually in the scrum is just announcing that it belongs to the Flame. But one of the Flame does come up in the end with the football. It was an odd exchange there.
It wasn't a good kick. It was not going to cover the 10 yards, and so the smart play there by the receiving team would have been to leave it alone. Somebody foolishly tried to fall on it, and so the Flashes wisely reacted, recognizing that, hey, if we can strip the ball loose and we end up with a ball, we might have a chance at it.
Don't worry about the decision. I think in the end, coaches are trying to make things happen. I think in high school football, the likelihood of an onside kick is exponentially greater than it is at the NFL level. You just never know what's going to happen. The Flashes defense is going to have to make a stop regardless. The ball is at midfield, first down and 10, 7 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the ball game. Lots of time. Looks like an extra player on the field. Delay a game penalty against West Oaks. They'll be backed up 5 yards, back into their own territory to the 45. Flashes are down 6. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Flame.
Yeah, and Todd, I get it about the onside kick, and to me it's all about momentum. Time-wise, you don't need to do it. If you do it, you capitalize on a tremendous momentum swing.
Interesting formation here. High snap, fakes the handoff. Actually, no, completes the handoff. That's Agent Zero. He's going to pick up 1 on the play. Quarterback did a nice job disguising that one. I thought he kept it for a moment.
Great pursuit from behind by Brody Ely again. He's really playing inspired football on both sides of the ball. I think Max Grimes was in there. I think Larry Sessions was in there as well.
2nd down and 14 after the 1-yard gain. 7 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the ball game. West Oaks trots 3 wide receivers out. They're trying to get organized at the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of confusion as they try to get set up. They've got an H-back. Pitts is in the slot, goes in motion. They fake it to him. They give it to Cohen. Cohen goes off the left side, and he'll work his way to the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
Looks like tackle is made
Ryan
by
Gurnick,
the Bear.
Max
Gurnick.
Grimes, and Larry Sessions all in on the tackle. And we've got a big 3rd down play. Really, Todd, that penalty turned out to be pretty big because it bought the Flashes 5 extra yards of breathing room, and now it's 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11 from the Flame side of the 50. Affectionately known as the 51-yard line, even though that doesn't exist.
Affectionately.
Yes. 3 wide receivers out to the right. A man goes in motion. A lot of pressure. They run a little middle screen to Pitts, and Pitts is in the open field, cuts it back at the 40, gets across the 35, down to the 32-yard line. There is a flag on the play. There is a flash expressing displeasure, and there is going to be a hold called against West Oaks. Oh my goodness. An illegal block is going to be called against West Oaks. Interestingly enough, the Flash player who was the recipient of the block expressed his displeasure with such vigor that I was concerned that he was going to get his own flag. But in the end, that is a huge, huge momentum swing because that was a 30-yard gain, and now it's coming back.
And it was a beautiful play call, and except for the apparent block in the back, it was beautifully executed. The Flashes really were bringing the house there, and we're so excited to have a free shot at the quarterback by design. Of course, on that middle screen play, the idea is that the offensive line pretends to block for a second or two, then releases. All the Flashes linemen fell for it, and that's why we had so much space setting up a 30-yard gain.
3rd and 20. Jack Fox has been working to get both this crowd and his teammates all riled up here. 3rd and 20, 5:46 to play. The Flashes are down 6, but are about to face a huge 3rd down that might give them some momentum back. 3 down linemen. Everybody else drops into coverage. Good pressure. Ball is in the air. It's going to be short, incomplete, and the Flashes are now forcing West Oaks into a decision on 4th and 20.
We are still in this
A
game.
lot of talking happening down on the field right now.
They've got to punt it if they have a punter. I don't know if it was Jack Fox or Larry Sessions that was back there. Somebody hit the quarterback's arm when he threw it, and that's why that ball kind of fluttered and fell well short of the receiver. A great pass rush, a huge play, 5:28 on the clock, and it looks like they're lining up with an offensive lineman as a punter. I don't know that Patrick Fields is the guy that we want returning this, and he's looking around saying, guys, do you want me returning this? Okay, we got a switch coming back. It looks like Kess is going to switch with Fields.
That's my guy, James Wilkie, number 58, 215-pounder. He blocks, he tackles, he kicks, and now he's going to punt. High snap, flag comes out. Illegal shift is going to back them up 5 more, and the energy on the West Oak side is starting to get frustrated.
Well, there's a lot of nervousness now, and that momentum that we talked about, the onside kick was recovered at the 50. And I got to think West Oaks was feeling pretty good about things, at least being able to pin the Flashes. Now they're kicking from their own 35 after a few penalties and some good defense by the Flashes, and a lucky break with one of those penalties. Kess is sitting on the 40. No one knows what to expect.
A left-footed punt because of the pressure, and he gets away a great one. This one's going to roll all the way down to the Flashes' 24-yard line. The punter, Wilkie, was like spraying towards the right, had to come back left, and got away a left-footed punt. I'm amazed. I'm impressed.
The kicking game has been such an adventure with West Oaks tonight, and they're pulling it off somehow. But the Flashes have 5-17. They're down by 6 points. They have shown some fourth quarter life tonight and in other games where they've been pushed. 5-17, looks like a water break is plenty of time to be able to run and pass and march down the field.
Well, Brian, I need a break too. What a fourth quarter this has been. We'll bring you the final 5 minutes when we return. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and the Flashes Digital Network. 5:17 to play in this football game. West Oaks Academy leads St. Joseph Academy 20-14, but the Flashes just forced a punt and now have it. Ooh, he's got a man! Ott with a perfect throw, and that one is going to be dropped at the 30-yard line. The timing of that play was thrown off. The safety that came down to cover Evans left him and blitzed. Evans was all alone behind him but couldn't come down with the football.
Good job by the line. Cody had plenty of time to pass. moved out of the pocket and extended the play with his feet, and it was really that movement that got his receiver open as Evans's guy came in to pursue the quarterback. But it's only second down, and we know, again, we've got 4 downs to do this.
Here's the snap. Ott rolls right. He's got time to throw again. Throws this one into traffic. That's going to be incomplete. One of the Flame linebackers was kind of pounding the ground. He missed an opportunity there. I think when he goes back and he watches the film, he'll realize he had no chance to catch the ball, but it was close enough where you have that feeling.
No, and that's the rollout's a great play when when the play design works and you end up getting a guy running free with someone trailing. That didn't happen there. As Cody rolled out there, the receiver had a defender draped all over him. There was little pass to make there. I think probably running it would have been the only way to get positive yardage. We escaped without a turnover, and we get 2 more chances.
Ott takes the snap, looks right, now comes back left, throws it over the middle, and that is incomplete. Jeremiah had a step on the coverage, but they could not connect. It's now 4th down and 10 from your own 25-yard line with 5 minutes to play. The smart play here is the punt, and that's what Coach Cash is going to do.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's one that Cody's going to want back because Jeremiah did have that inside position. A deeper slant, maybe a deep enough to be a post. We didn't have Zero in the vicinity. He had some space to run. We would have had the 1st down and more if we complete that.
Ooh, but now Agent Zero, Mr. Pitts, is the punt returner, and they're going to punt it right to him. Catches it at his own 40, steps up, makes a man miss at the 42, sprints towards the sideline. He gets across the 50, but he steps out of bounds there.
Fielded by number 0, Tavares Pitts.
Flashes are that's not terrible. He picked up 10 on the return. Every time he's touched the ball tonight, though, there's been a chance that he takes it to the house. 4:48 to play in the ball game. The Flashes defense came up big on the last drive. They benefited from a penalty. Now they need to get another stop.
Yeah, and similar field position to where that last drive started. We hope that West Oaks goes backwards as they did last time. The fans are really pretty engaged right now, cheering for the Flashes.
It's 20-17, 4:48 to play. Flashes defense played incredibly well in that last drive. They bottled up the run pretty well. They'll need to do it again. Little bit of shifting and switching on the defensive side. They're running defensive backs, and a flag comes out. Another delay of game penalty against West Oaks Academy. Another drive is going to start 1st and 15.
And we talked about that last drive, how key it was for the Flashes to have that extra 5-yard margin, and they ended up in 3rd and 10, which is where you want to put them. Of course, converted the big play and had the penalty back. You expect that they're going to run the ball 1st and 2nd down. So if we can keep those 2 plays under 5 or 6 yards total, that puts the Flashes in a good position.
Brian, have you stayed on top of the timeouts here in the second half?
I was just running that through my head. I don't recall a single Flashes timeout. Do you?
I don't. There was one by West Oaks. Ely showing pressure. He gets penetration, and Cohen breaks that initial tackle, stays on his feet. He's going to pick up nearly 10 on the play. Ely anticipated the snap count there, was in the backfield, and got one hand on an ankle, but Cohen was able to break away from it, ends up with a nice gain. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, and that's a pretty crushing play. A few players in position. That was just some hard downhill running. If we want to win this game, we've got to be tougher than that.
4:13 to play. Here's the snap, but the ball's on the ground. The Flashes are saying they've got it. The referee agrees. There it is. The Flashes recover a fumble. It was a bad snap exchange, and with 4:03 to play, the Flashes are back in business.
And sometimes that's all it takes. 4 minutes left, and the Flashes have themselves in even better position than they were at the start of last drive. I'll say it again, 4 minutes is plenty of time to run the ball and pass the ball, especially if you've got some timeouts. The Flashes have life again.
I'll tell you what's amazing, the way both of these teams work, we just had a change of possession and not a single player came off the field. Not a single player came off the field.
I do notice number 22, who had the double cramp, is back on the field for the defense in a blitzing position.
Takes the snap, handoff goes to Ely. Ely is just thrown down to the ground. Ely didn't like it, felt like that was by the helmet. He's expressing some frustration there.
Fortunately, as awful as that looked in terms of the loss, it was only a 3-yard loss.
All right, 3:37 to go. 30 seconds on the game, on the play clock. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
We remarked a little bit earlier in the season that the Flashes don't really seem to have a hurry-up offense. They're still in a huddle. The quarterback went to the sideline. Now we're under 10 seconds breaking the huddle. I think we're going to get this one off, but not a lot of urgency.
4 wide receivers for Ott. Ott surveys the defense, takes the snap, rolls to the left, needs to run it. He does. He gets away from the initial pressure. He'll get a good 7-yard gain on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
And that's a big play. You've got 2nd and 13, and you got close to half of it.
That got him back ahead of the sticks. Ott sprints all the way across the field, finds Coach Cash to try to get this play. Clock continues to roll. And now a timeout is going to be called. The Flashes are going to talk it over.
Timeout.
We'll give them a chance to do so. And on the other side, we'll bring you these final 2.5 minutes. We'll be right back. What a ball game we've had here at Versaghi Field tonight. 2:32 to go in the ball game. The Flashes are down 6, but they have the football in West Oaks Academy territory. It's 3rd down and 7. The crowd is urging the Flashes offense forward. 4 wide receivers in the formation, now make it 5. Ely heads toward the sideline. He's going to get 1 play off. He's been an emotional leader as well as a physical leader out on the field. Larry Sessions is currently in at running back.
Crucial play for the Flashes here.
I'm imagining being there as a blocker. This throw is going to be tipped, incomplete. That was almost a tip drill interception and almost a tip drill catch.
Dangerous pass. Nice route, nice idea, just not delivered on the mark. And you're right, it touched 2 different white jersey players, and we had maybe a chance. I'm not sure if it hit the ground, but
Glisson actually thought he'd come up with it. He showed the ref the ball. He thought he caught it. I think he'll see different.
That doesn't mean he thought he caught it. It just means he was trying to convince the ref that he caught it.
I can work with it either way.
4th and 7. The game really comes down to this play.
2:26 to play. Flashes down 6. 4th and 7 from the 48. Good protection. Here's the throw. It is caught. And, oh no, it is incomplete. He was right on the line to gain, but took a big hit.
Incomplete.
And actually the trainer is going to come out and check on him.
And that was Jeremiah Kess as well. Right at the line. I think if it's a catch, it's a 1st down with forward progress, but he did take a shot.
He took a big hit, separated from the football. Trainer and Doc are checking him out right now. Both teams, Flashes are here taking a knee around him. A couple of coaches and the doctor are all checking on him. Hopeful he just got the wind knocked out of him. He's moving. And they're going to be helping him up here. He's kind of sitting up and now lays back down.
Little surprised that West Oaks isn't taking a knee here. There appeared to be one of their coaching staff or someone from their sideline who came all the way over. It looked like to check on the injured player.
Right.
Seemed like he was kind of run off, and as he walked back, saw a high five exchange with one of the players. They were down on knees. Now they're up, and now.
All right, some good applause here. Jeremiah is up on his feet, grabs his helmet, and is now heading towards the sideline. I think he's going to be okay. That is great news for the Flashes. Not as good news. It's a turnover on downs, and the ball is going to head over to West Oaks. 2:19 to play. Flashes have one more potential opportunity to get a stop and get the ball back.
Jeremiah just tried to run back onto the field after throwing his helmet down on the sideline.
They're going to give him at least one play to kind of recover. He took a huge hit. All right, high snap. Bad exchange. Dominic Sanguin's going to have to keep it, and he's going to lose 5 on that first down run.
And there is still room for a miracle. If the Flashes, in fact, have 2 timeouts.
There is Tina and Doc are walking out on the field. I don't see a player down on the ground. Looks like Gabe Casillas came in the game for a moment there in place of Mr. Kess. Kess is checked back in the game. Casillas with some great hustle to make his way off the field. So the trainer and the doctor have now come off the field. The clock is still rolling. We're down inside 1:40 to play. If there are timeouts, I might have used one here.
And I think they got a lot of extra time on that play.
Second and long. It'll be around 1:15 on the clock when they snap it. Oh, it is a rolling snap that's down on the ground. The quarterback takes a knee right there. There was some contact there, but they couldn't tell for sure if his knee was down. So now there's a timeout, 1:14 to go, and they're looking at a 3rd down and 20+.
Yeah, you have to be careful there because you're right. From here, it looked like the quarterback caught it and had his knee down. Of course, you're trying to jar the ball loose, but you don't want a 15-yard roughing the quarterback penalty there. So now the real question is, do the Flashes still have a timeout? Coach Wiley, do the Flashes still have a timeout? So we're hearing up in the booth that we think there is one timeout. That means one more play, one more timeout, and the Flashes could conceivably get the ball back with a minute left to play. Now that's assuming that the snaps are good. We saw some jittery snaps in the first half that actually led to Flashes points. We've seen them on 2 consecutive plays, one high, one low.
One of the emotional leaders among the parents starts a defense chant. And the Flashes will look to live up to it right now. They're going to rise to the occasion. Agent Zero is in the slot, and he is effectively uncovered at the moment. There is a safety over top. 3rd down and long, 1:14 to play. Here's the snap. It is a high snap. Rolls left, tries to throw the screen. Intercepted by Larry Sessions at the 37-yard line. It was a leaping one-handed grab, and the Flashes will get new life. 1:03 to play. The Flashes will have the ball at the 35-yard line. They are in Flame territory. What a play.
And you know, Larry, the ball was on the ground after Larry was tackled, and they were claiming at West Oaks that it was recovered by them. It has clearly been ruled Flashes football. That was that middle screen play that we talked about before. The last time they ran it, the entire D-line fell for it, rushed the quarterback. That time, Larry Sessions did not fall for it. the quarterback didn't realize until too late that he was in position. A tremendous athletic play. 36-yard line, Flashes are in business.
Here's the snap. Ott trying to find a man open. He rolls to the right. He's under pressure. He's got a man. He throws it. Oh, my goodness. Nearly intercepted. The Flashes are going to be frustrated when they look back on film. Raymond Evans was in the end zone uncovered. He is expressing a little bit of disappointment as he jogs back. That's a hard one. 56.6 seconds to go in this game. It is 20-14 in favor of West Oaks Academy. The Flashes have it 2nd down and 10 in West Oaks territory. The ball is at the 36. It is near the left hash.
And the key things about that turnover, as you said, we're in their territory instead of having to drive it a full field, and we quite potentially have one timeout still.
2 backs. Here's the snap. Ott flips it in his hand, throws it, and it is nearly intercepted, and it is intercepted on the tip. And there is the official signal. The ball was tipped and picked. The Flame will take over after the interception with 48.9 seconds to go. Flashes are stunned.
And you know, in the midst of all of that, you see a sophomore quarterback who's just absolutely distraught with himself, and a junior leader, Jack Fox, walking him halfway to the sideline with his arm around him, offering whatever consolation he can. You love to see that kind of leadership from your upperclassmen, as much as you hate the outcome of the play.
West Oaks lines up to take a knee. There have been snap issues. The Flashes try to have an impact, but flags come out. And with 44 seconds to go, although the clock has stopped,
I think a Flashes player may have been removed. I saw a referee raising his voice, probably at the intensity of the hit when it was a clearly kneel-down play. I also saw some chattering from some of the white jerseys toward that same player, and it was being reciprocated as well. Game's been played hard by both teams. It's been a game overall of apparently good sportsmanship. You'd hate to see things unravel here. It's hard to lose a game like this for either team.
West Oaks will now line up 1st down and 10 from their own 42-yard line. They prepare to take a knee, and it looks like there will be 2 snaps. The Flashes have called timeout. That is their final timeout of the night. Yeah, now things are starting to get a little chippy. Coaches are calling their players over to have a little conversation. This is not the way you want to see this game end. 37.8 seconds to go. A close, hard-fought game is going to end with West Oaks in the lead. We'll take a moment right now to thank everybody over at WSOS, Kevin and Kathy, who was in studio tonight, keeping this broadcast up and running. Big thanks to CJ Emerson, who had all of our equipment running well. Big thanks to our friend Nora, who did a great job both on the camera and on the computer, as always. Brian, this is the kind of game that you're going to look back at 3 or 4 different moments where some big things happened in your favor, and there's also 3 or 4 moments that you really wish you could have back. Margins are slim in football games. We talk about games of inches. We talk about it all comes down to 2, 3, 4 plays. This is going to be a tough one for St. Joe to swallow.
Yeah, and we said it throughout the first half. We said it coming out of the first half. This felt like a game that we should be able to win. This felt like a game that coming out of halftime we should have been in the lead. Not taking anything against our opponent, but a lot of plays left on the field on both sides of the ball, big plays given up, penalties, lack of execution. We really continued to see that. The fact that we fought our way back and were a touchdown down and 2 or 3 times we're in a position to drive for the lead. There are some things to take away, but still it hurts to have it in your hands and not be able to finish.
No doubt. They actually run a shotgun and then take a knee, which given the snap issues and some of the scrums that have happened there, probably a good call. It ends up being effective. And now we're inside 20 seconds. There will not be another snap. That will do it.
And that's the ball game.
We're here
Let's
from
give it up
St.
for both
Joseph
teams.
Academy. St. Joe falls to West Oaks Academy 20-14. On behalf of my co-host Brian, my name is Todd. This is Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9. Next week is homecoming.
Next week's
Flashes
game
will
is
look to
homecoming
find
against
victory
Eastside.
on homecoming
Make sure to be
evening.
there and support the Flashes.
Sorry we couldn't bring you
Again,
a
it's
victory
homecoming against
tonight, but
Eastside.
big thanks
It's
to
gonna
my
be exciting.
co-host for all of your
Again,
work and
don't
effort.
forget to clean up your
And
area.
good luck to all these players as they
Big
get
help.
ready for a
Much
week of
appreciated.
film
Thank you so
and
much.
their homecoming game next
God
week.
bless.
Good night,
Stay
everybody,
holy.
and go Flashes.